因为我今年结婚啦。接下来我
Hey guys. I need to tell you something that happened to me the other day. And honestly, it made me rethink everything I thought I knew about love, trust, and relationships. I was on a date with this guy who at first glance seemed really traditional. You know the type, the one who pays the bill without blinking, opens the car door for you, and actually looks into your eyes when he talks. Classic, right? Things were going well until, out of nowhere, in the middle of our conversation, he asked me, "Have you heard about those new marriage contracts that are going viral among young people in China?" I thought it was a joke. I laughed kind of awkwardly, waiting for the punchline. But he wasn't joking. He calmly pulled out his phone, opened a PDF, and started showing me the document like it was the most normal thing in the world. The contract said he'd be willing to give his future wife a dowry of 200,000 yuan, that's nearly $30,000, no problem at all. But here's the twist, if the woman cheated on him or got pregnant by another man before their official wedding, she'd have to pay the money back. With interest. Yes, with interest. At that point, I genuinely wasn't sure if I was still on a date or in the middle of a legal consultation. But he just kept going, calm as ever. It's just a way to protect both sides. Nobody trusts anyone anymore these days. And that's the thing. In the moment, I found it absurd. But later that night, alone in my apartment, I kept replaying it in my head. And I realized, as much as I wanted to roll my eyes at the idea, there was a brutal kind of logic behind it. The truth is, relationships are turning into emotional battlegrounds. Full of insecurity, fear, and hyper-defensive behavior. People are so scared of getting hurt that they're trying to control even the unpredictable with contracts. And you know what scared me even more? This kind of agreement is actually becoming popular. Among people our age. People who are supposed to be falling in love are now negotiating terms and conditions. No more fairy tale love stories. Now it's clauses. Penalties. Legal backup. Everyone wants insurance before they invest their feelings. And then it hit me. If he gets to have a contract, so do I. But mine would be different. My contract would start with Clause 1, treat me like a priority, not an option. If you have to think twice about choosing me, don't. Go straight to the exit clause. Clause 2, no mysterious disappearances. If you ghost me for more than 48 hours without a valid reason, I consider the relationship terminated due to emotional abandonment. Clause 3, if I have to heal from something you did to me, you're paying for my therapy. Simple. Direct. Fair. And at the bottom, I'd add a bolded note. Reciprocity is mandatory. Love is optional. But respect is non-negotiable. It's funny how we grow up hearing that real love doesn't need rules. But maybe that's exactly why so many people get lost. Because they're waiting for the other person to guess. To feel. To change. Without ever making their own needs clear. And in a world where everyone just wants to see where things go, maybe the real act of bravery is saying exactly what you expect, in writing if necessary. My contract might not have legal weight. But emotionally? It's everything. It's a reminder that I'm not here to play games with the future. I'm here to build something real. And building together means knowing the rules we're playing by. Not to control, but to respect each other. To show that this time we're not pretending. We're showing up fully with clarity and intention. So that's it. If one day I fall in love with someone, it'll be with freedom, yes, but also with awareness. And if there's anything I'm going to sign, let it be a real agreement. Not just with someone else, but with myself.
After the introduction of the new marriage law, the marriage rate in 2025 is expected to continue to plummet. Starting February 1, 2025, the new judicial interpretation of the marriage law officially came into effect. But interestingly, neither party in a marriage seems satisfied with it, because the main change in the new law is related to how property is divided during a divorce. Previously, when a couple got married and one partner added the other's name to the house deed, it was considered a gift, essentially giving the other person part of the property. But now, that's no longer the case. Under the new law, even if the name is added to the deed or the property is transferred, if the other party did not contribute financially, and the marriage is short-lived, then even in the event of divorce, they have no right to claim the property. Moreover, if it's clearly stated that one party's parents paid for the property, the other party has no right to that asset either. At most, the other side may receive some compensation depending on the length of the marriage, who was at fault, and the degree of contribution to the household. Looking at these legal changes, one trend becomes obvious. The marriage law now protects assets, not emotions. It wasn't always like this. For example, when a man transferred money to a woman, no matter the intention, it was considered a gift and couldn't be reclaimed after a breakup. But in reality, many people started asking for money under the pretense of love. And once they got what they wanted, they broke up, leaving the other person emotionally and financially drained. So the law changed. Some transfers can now be legally reclaimed. The same thing happened with betrothal gifts. Previously, if a man gave a woman money or gifts with the intention of marriage, and the wedding never happened, it was still considered a gift and she could keep it. But again, real life interfered. Too many people pretended they were planning to marry just to take the money and disappear. So the law changed again. Now, betrothal gifts can be reclaimed, even if the couple did get married, if the marriage didn't last long. Another example. Men used to add women's names to property deeds as a gesture of love. That used to be enough for the woman to claim partial ownership, based on emotional grounds. But in real life, many women started insisting on having their names added at the time of marriage, then quickly filing for divorce, taking half of the property. This started happening frequently in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, especially in cases involving locals marrying people from other regions. It even sparked regional discrimination and resentment, forcing the legal system to respond again. Now, the new law states that premarital assets do not belong to the other party, even if their name is added to the deed. Do you see the pattern? At first glance, it seems like the marriage law is evolving. But in reality, every update is a response to countless personal tragedies. First, people believed in love and gave money. They were deceived. The law changed. Then people believed in betrothal traditions, gave gifts. Deceived again. The law changed. Now, people believe in trust and share property titles. Still deceived. The law had to change again. From an emotional point of view, the new marriage law makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Men and women alike. No one feels fully protected. But from a practical standpoint, it's clear the law is moving in one direction, to protect those who have been hurt by money. And maybe that's the saddest part of modern marriage. Everyone says, let's not mix feelings with money. But the truth is, you never know whether someone says that out of sincerity or because they're preparing to scam you. And so, the new marriage law is sending a message. If it's about love, just live together. No legal strings attached. But if you want to get married, make sure the money is all sorted out first. Put it in writing.
Is marriage something that absolutely has to happen? Yes. Apparently, it does. If you don't get married, it's like you're not even Chinese. There's no such idea here as, maybe marriage isn't for everyone. I'm a single woman, and yet every day I get criticized, online and by my own family, just for existing without a ring. If I say I want to get married, people say, you're probably just after a big dowry. If I say I don't want to get married, then I'm too picky, too spoiled, or unwanted. If I don't say anything at all, they still find something to attack. And now, with the new marriage law, things have gotten even worse. Men are bringing massive contracts to the table just to consider marriage. Full of conditions, clauses, financial penalties, like a legal merger. It's not about love anymore. It's negotiations, signatures, and PDFs. I'm honestly starting to wonder, were these people arranged by my parents as blind dates? Why are they so angry? Even when I say I won't ask for dowry and don't plan to marry, it doesn't help. Meanwhile, during national holidays, weddings happen one after another. I'm still single, still stuck in Jiangxi, and people say I'm unwanted. I know. I'm not pretty, I come from a poor family, and apparently I have the audacity to not want kids or a kitchen-bound life. That alone disqualifies me. But my family doesn't accept it. To them, a woman not wanting kids has simply read too many books. They say, even village fools get married. What's your excuse? When I try to explain, they just start cursing. I want to argue, but my standard Mandarin can't compete with furious dialects from 7 aunts and 8 uncles shouting over me. Logic doesn't stand a chance. And to those men online who say they won't pay dowries, who don't want to marry, who claim I'm not their type, please, I beg you, take that energy to rural Jiangxi. Start a revolution there. I can't carry it alone. My family still believes I'll marry into a rich household in Shanghai or Zhejiang. All I can think about is a lake in that region where I might quietly disappear. The same guys who say they'll never marry online are getting drunk on baijiu at their weddings come national holidays. My 35-year-old coworker just got married. My relatives now look at me like I'm radioactive. Their eyes shine green. I feel like crying. So again, I ask, is marriage truly necessary? In this country, yes. That belief runs deep. And it's making everyone miserable. Singles attack the married. Married people mock the single. Those who want to marry fight their blind dates. Those who don't want to marry fight their parents. Every day, another fight. Another insult. Another breakdown. Online, I'm judged for being a woman. At home, I'm judged for being educated and independent. Commander Lee, where's that damn Italian cannon? Blow my head off already. We graduate at 26, then come jobs, blind dates, pressure to marry, bridesmaid duties, lucky money. This cycle never ends. But at least, as a content creator, I'll never run out of material. Life is chaos, but it's endlessly entertaining.
没车房，一个月工资有
You don't have a car or a house. Do you at least make 20,000 yuan a month? I'm just curious. What kind of job pays 10 to 20k a month? Nowadays? Come on, any girl can easily make 10 to 20k doing just about anything, right? Really? Of course. So, what do you do? What's your job? I work in sales. Sales? What kind? General business sales. Making 30 to 50k is pretty normal. Oh, I see. I make between 10 to 20k myself. Sometimes even 30 to 50k. It happens. Okay then. Let me ask you something. How much dowry would you want if you were to get married? I'd decide that based on the situation. But my family wants around 200,000 yuan. 200,000? How old are you? 26. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Just a couple of days ago, I met a 20-year-old who is only asking for 80,000 yuan. You're 6 years older and asking for over 100k more. That's not exactly reasonable, is it? Look, I can ask for whatever I want. That's my right. Sure. But as the buyer, we need to do some market analysis. Gotta see if the return is worth the investment, you know? Compare our options. Makes sense, right? Are you here to talk about love or to do business? Not business, right? We're talking about feelings. Then tell me, when are you actually going to start making 10 to 20k? That's none of your concern. How is it not? Aren't we supposed to work for a future together? Don't just look at me now making 3,000. My salary's gonna rise. Eventually. Eventually? What about lunchtime? Do you not work in the afternoon? Is your salary paid before or after bedtime? All right, maybe you should eat something first. Nah, I have somewhere to be. I'm gonna head out. Leaving already? Yep, I have something planned. I only set aside this time to meet you. Same here. My time's valuable too. I'm not lying. So, what do you think of me? Honestly? I don't think we're a good match. But we barely even got to know each other. Let's at least grab dinner? No thanks. I'm good. I just don't think we're compatible. All right then. I'm leaving. You go ahead and finish your drink. Oh. So, this is Xiao Wang, right? Yeah. What do you do? I work in advertising design. And how old are you? 24. What's your education? Bachelor's degree. Can I ask something a little sensitive? What's your monthly salary? Around 1,000 yuan. Seriously? Even people on welfare get more than that. Oh, I'm still an intern. You should have said that earlier. 1,000 plus? Even people collecting welfare do better. But okay, internship is fine. And after you go full-time, how much will you earn? Around 3,000 on average. 3,000? No car, no house, and 3,000 a month? Yeah, that's why I want to marry someone who already has a car and a house. Well, you want that, and so do I. You're hoping to change your life through marriage? So am I. Let me be real with you. At my age, if I go on a blind date, I'm looking at the conditions. If a woman can't offer me decent financial security, then seriously, why would I marry her?
And, in the middle of all this, a new trend is taking over among young people in China. Contract marriage is becoming the norm. Love, only after the terms are settled. Before looking someone in the eyes, you sign a PDF. Before saying, I love you, you define who gets what. Because the fear of getting hurt financially and emotionally is reshaping the way people fall in love, the idea that marriage is a contract has always existed in theory. But now it's become literal. Young people are drafting clauses about loyalty, financial penalties for cheating, emotional damage compensation. And why? Because trust has become a luxury. Because after so many were deceived by dowries, by property, by fake promises, people decided, if love can't be guaranteed, at least the breakup terms can be. But what did we see in the testimonials throughout this video? We saw women pressured to marry men they don't love just to please their families. We saw men trying to use marriage as a financial escape and being judged for it. We saw young people stuck between the fear of being alone and the fear of being with the wrong person. And we saw families treating marriage like a business deal where the dowry matters more than the connection. In the end, it all comes down to this. Getting married today takes courage. Courage to say no when society screams yes. Courage to wait for someone who chooses you without calculation. Courage not to sign a contract if you feel like it's costing you your peace. But it also takes maturity. Because love alone, love without balance, doesn't survive. It needs a solid foundation, emotional stability, mutual respect, and the willingness to grow together, not just split the bills. That's why now, more than ever, marrying the right person matters more than marrying young or marrying for appearances. Because that person doesn't need to give you a house, a car, or a fancy wedding. They just need to be the one who's still there when everything else around you falls apart. The light that stays on at the end of a terrible day. The one who doesn't need a contract, because they offer real commitment. So now, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Do you think it makes sense to turn love into legal terms? Or do you believe the real risk is not protecting yourself? If this video made you think, leave a like, share your opinion in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next video.